Tonight's power panel to take this on, Democratic strategist Zach Friend, Daily Caller White House correspondent Sagar Enjeti, and president of Real Clear Politics, Tom Bevan. Welcome to all of you.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks. We all saw today that the Angel Moms really became center stage there. I want to play a little bit of the reporting on CNN, and then I'll tell you what one of the Angel families had to say.
These are parents of victims who were allegedly killed by undocumented immigrants.
You also have women known as angel moms, mothers who lost children or alleged to have lost children to undocumented immigrants.
And that use of the word alleged did not go over well. One of the families told us tonight, when asked about media outlets that have been claiming this word allegedly killed, quote, "That is extremely insulting and hurtful. The previously deported illegal alien in our case has been convicted and is in prison. Saying allegedly is an effort to discredit our story. They don't want the stories of the Angel families to be told." Now, Sagar, you were there today. This spilled over post press conference. What happened?
Yeah, I saw the Angel Moms actually approach CNN's Jim Acosta, and they took issue with the tone of the question, with what they see is an effort by the press in order to look at the things that are happening on the southern border and disqualify or to push back against the president's rhetoric that there is a national emergency. And to many of them, and I've spoken with some of them, I've met them, to them this is a very personal issue. Their children or their husbands or their spouse were killed by an illegal alien, and so to see that discrediting of their narrative and a policy fix that they think that would work was very upsetting to them.
Yeah, I mean, Zach, how do you address this? Because the left is going to say there isn't an emergency, but to these people, they've suffered tremendous loss. It's very much a real crisis in their lives.
I agree with you, Shannon, and I think that that they deserve all the love and respect that they should be getting right now. I do understand, too, that in some respects what we're seeing here from the executive side is really a reflection of the gridlock on the legislative side. This isn't anything new. The President Trump isn't doing anything new. President Obama also issued similar executive actions. And I think that one of the challenges that we have here is really the precedent setting, both from Obama and Trump and moving forward of whichever the next administration is how willingly they'll be able to do these things for everything from climate change to any other issue.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about that coming up, but you make a point here because the president said, listen, many other national emergencies have been declared. Many of them are still in effect right now from several previous presidents, so it's not that it's unique. But NPR says this, their headline, many presidents have declared emergencies, but not like Trump has. They want to differentiate it. This is what they said. About 3/4 of the time, presidents use their emergency power to impose economic sanctions or limit trade with foreign parties. Other declarations have followed terrorist attacks or natural disasters. Now, critics say Trump's declaration is categorically different in that the president is using his power to fund a border wall far bigger and more expensive than Congress was willing to pay for. Then they quote the California Attorney General Javier Becerra saying this is not 9/11. This is not the Iran hostage crisis of 1979. Tom?
Well, Trump is right. This is all going to get hashed out. There's a Joe DeGeneva, well-respected attorney, wrote on a piece in the New York Daily News saying Trump is on solid legal ground. There seems to be some consensus that he is on solid legal ground. But Trump's probably right. They probably will go to the Ninth Circuit, and they may not get a good ruling there. And this will be appealed probably all the way to the Supreme Court. So, whether it's different or not, and the nuances of that will all be sorted out in court. But in the meantime, Trump's going to try and move ahead as quickly as he can. This is his issue that he has to deliver on for his base, and he wants to set up this contrast between himself and the Democrats, particularly as he moves into the 2020 campaign.
Yeah, and Zach, we're going to talk about how the Democrats feel about this. I mean, there are those who are out there publicly saying that they would actually tear down the current existing border barriers if they had a chance, if they were elected.
Yeah, I don't actually think that's a particularly helpful discussion. I think that what you're starting to see, though, is people that have a primary voter audience, and then there's going to be a general election voter audience. And we have to remember, by the way, a decent amount of this wall was actually constructed during the Obama administration. Both parties have actually built portions of the wall. I mean, I'm from a border state, and I think that people do feel that there is a value to having border protections. The question, though, sort of on a macro side, is this the highest, best use of the time right now of either Congress or the president to be focusing specifically on this? I think there's agreement that we need comprehensive immigration reform. The question is, do we necessarily need to be spending all this time on this one issue associated with immigration?
When Democrats were in in control, they didn't get it done. Republicans in control, they didn't get it done. Sagar, The Atlantic says this. While the president does not need Congress's say-so to declare an emergency, Congress does have the right to override him after the fact with a vote of both houses. House will likely do so, unclear whether enough Republicans in the Senate would join them to do. You cover this. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think that they would have the requisite number of votes, but even if they did, White House officials have made known, on a background purpose, that there would be a significant effort to rebuff any sort of vote, and that if it came down to it, that they would try, or they would at least have a major discussion about vetoing it. But they're not worried at the moment that that is something that is going to happen.
All right, quick final word to you, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to get. One of the things that this does, though, after Trump had got a pretty significant bump after his State of the Union address, which was well received and had a bipartisan message, Trump is back to brawling. And this is certainly going to put the focus back on the split within the Republican caucus. You mentioned Lamar Alexander earlier, and that's not a good thing for Republicans. It's not necessarily a good thing for Trump.
Well, I think he likes to be in the brawling position. That seems where
Indeed
he's
he does.
most happy and most comfortable. All right, Power Panel, thank you.